Hey there gamers, Journeyman report number 3 here. December is now completely over, 25 points is now completely over, and the league's really starting to get quite interesting. I think we've probably got about 5 players that are really pushing, really getting up there, really fighting to be at the top. There is a runaway winner right at the moment. I'll give you an update as to how the league's looking, but there's still really anything to play for if I'm honest. The month for me, I have to be honest, I didn't get very many games in. Part of that was because I went on holiday, and then obviously it was Christmas, and so in between I didn't manage to organise as much as I could. The other part of that is that SmogCon is coming up, it's just a couple of months away now. I really want to try and focus towards tournaments, as you probably saw in the video the other day that I posted about my goals for 2015. So I am playing some Menoth games in between, so I'm not dedicating all my time to it. Another problem that's throwing up for me is that having entered hardcore, there are models that I have to have painted by the end of February. So there are models that I'll be prioritising, and therefore Legion models that I perhaps won't be prioritising. Interestingly, there's about a week after SmogCon for the Journeyman League before it finishes, so I think either I'll be completely sick of it and need a rest, or I'll be really enthused and I'll use that time to paint an entire Legion army. I don't know. If I can get the models that I need to get painted done in time, then obviously I'm going to push and do more, and I think I'm just going to have to try and intersperse some Journeyman games as and when I can, especially now as we move to the higher points levels where the games are taking longer. You can't get several in an evening, which perhaps may be a reason why it was good to get so many games in from a point scoring perspective earlier on. My list, I added a Ravagore, very simple, 10 points, done. A lot of people think that Vale should have 2. I think the reason for that is that people can tend to hesitate and stay away from her, and if you have twin Ravagores shooting, then you don't really get an option because their range is so long. They can't stay back because they then can't contest scenarios. So adding the Ravagore is interesting for me because it sort of forces people to come towards me. It's kind of interesting because I've been playing against Rich and his Arcadius, obviously, where his only aim is to run at me as fast as possible, which perhaps also isn't what I want, and I have managed to beat him and he's managed to beat me, and that really is a back and forth that's quite interesting. I know it seems insane, and I'm sure if you're a top level player with Vale 2 then there's no way you'd ever let Arcadius win, but I don't know, I'm obviously not that at the moment. I've also played a game against Lee, that was early on in the month, and his Trollbloods. He had expanded by adding Dozer and Smig and maxing out his stone unit. Dozer and Smig, great model, fantastic rules, pretty horrendous when you give him snipe. That game didn't go well for me in the end because I ended up losing models far too quickly. That was partly due to my own error. Admonition was on my side in because that's where I kept putting it every game, because I felt that was good for some matchups, and against a Gumbjorn, Bomber, Dozer and Smig list I should have been giving him Occultation, because my Angel could fly away and be such high defense that he really wasn't going to hit it, but the Scythian he was hitting, and that's my mistake, and hopefully in January play him again, that won't happen. Other people are still meeting up to play each other, which is nice. It's nice to hear feedback that people are actually enjoying the league, taking some time, participating, and not just because I want the league that I started to do well, obviously. I don't really mind about that. The league really was something that a few of us decided we wanted to do to push ourselves, and the fact that other people have jumped on board is just fantastic. So yeah, I've had feedback from people saying that they've been playing games, and feedback from people saying they've painted a lot. Some people have really used the holiday time in December to get a lot of stuff done, and with that I thought I would take this opportunity to talk about the state of the league as it stands. So on my notepad, currently in 5th place in the league, and this may be a couple of points out because sometimes it takes a week or two for scores to come in and for me to update them. So that's Dan Porter. He's currently playing Hexerus and he is playing Scorn, obviously. He's sat at 33 points. Interestingly, maybe not interestingly, 20 of those 33 points are hobby points, so it's quite balanced, but he has more of a lean towards scoring points from the painting at the moment. Fourth place is currently myself, 41 points. That is a very, very big swing towards game played points. I have 37 points for games played, and the only models that I've actually got points for at this time for painting are Veil 2 and my Angel. Nothing else. My Scythian was already painted, and I just did some tweaks to finish him off, so I didn't count that, I didn't score that. And then I've got the pot, I've got my Shredder, which I also haven't painted yet. My Ravagore is part done, and then as I expand up and I add my second Angel, and possibly looking now at using a Seraph and Typhon, because it's Journeyman, so why not? I don't need him for another list. And they're models that I really want for my P-Veil list, so it would be good for me to have them painted up. As I paint them, as they get finished, hopefully they'll score me some points, but at the moment they're not done, and therefore I don't get any points. But it is close, because Lee is now in third place, bronze medal position, 42 points, so just 1 point ahead of me. He is also at 37 points, and at the moment only has 5 hobby points. That's for his Bomber, which again scores him 3, much like my Angel, being a large base model, but his Caster's on a medium base, not a small, so he is 1 hobby point ahead of me. Rich, 43 points, so there you can see second, third, fourth, there's just 2 points in it effectively. He's at 27 game points and 16 hobby points. He's recently pushed really hard and got pretty much all of the stuff he'd been using up until this point in one huge slog. Doing it over December and the holidays is a good time when you've got some free time to get it done. I really like what he's done. He's got some cool conversion in that he's put sort of things onto the Gorax like steam furnace chimneys and that sort of thing, so that it looks a bit more minionsy as opposed to looking like something that they borrowed from Circle, which basically is what happened. He's gone for this cool kind of rust effect on the bases, which he's also used on the metal, and I really like that. I think it looks really good. And I really like his Arcadius. I think the three colours for his syringe that he can use, it works really well, especially because obviously Arcadius has got the 3 different attacks that he can use. He can make them stationary or 2 other things that I can't remember. All I remember is that he seems to keep making my Angel stationary, which is very sad. And then, drum roll please, first place, David Kenshington. Yes, I thought I'd murdered your name there, but I didn't, I'm sorry. David is playing Signar. He is started originally from the actual true battle box, and this actually was his introduction into the game. He has just started from this point. He's played other games before, but this is his introduction into Warmachine, and he has done a really good job. He's got 23 game points. He has got a few wins in there, he has got some losses in there. He keeps saying that he's alright with all these losses, but to be honest, I don't think it matters. He seems to be having a great time. And then when we look at the army that he's painted, 31 hobby points, really good effort. He seems to have painted basically an entire 50-point army already. Whether that means he can cling on to the lead, whether he'll start buying up more stuff to expand his list, because remember you score points for everything in faction, I don't know. But I have to say that his army just does look spectacular. I haven't seen it in person for a while, so I'm really looking forward to when we get to the 35 and 50 point levels, seeing him playing with that, because he's now got 2 full painted units, I think. Sword Knights maybe, or Stormblades is one, and then Long Gunners maybe for the other one. And it's obviously it's a big transition from where you're go from having just a couple of jacks to having your jacks and then 2 big units of infantry. Your army just looks so much more complete. So yeah, that's how the league table sits at the moment. Obviously that now means I'm 13 points behind, but I didn't get very many games in last month. Hopefully I'll get a few in this month, and I'll be able to keep on moving forward with my score. I'm hoping to get some models painted as quick as possible so that I can keep myself in there in the league. I know guys are playing tonight down at Fat Cats. I know that will just continue, so hopefully the leagues can go from strength to strength. And to all those of you watching who are part of the league but aren't in those top 5, you can still do this. Just get your army painted. That's how you score most of the points, and then just play some games. But it's all about fun at the end of the day. everyone seems to be enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying watching my progress and my thoughts. I suppose next month when we move into 35 points it'll become quite interesting, because we'll go from the Prime rulebook scenarios to the Steamroller scenarios, so there'll be a lot more like standard competitive games as well. That'll be fun. I suppose I'll see you guys in a month then with another update.